Hello guys, welcome to my channel Divine Truth Tarot. I'm going to be delivering a reading today with some of the cards, some of the decks that I haven't used for quite some time. I've got the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I've got the Mystical Shaman deck, which was a gift from one of our lovely soul sisters. And lastly, I have the Quantum Oracle deck, which we'll be starting with today. So I wanted to send you guys lots of good vibrations, high vibes, and hope you're soaring through the Lion's Gate and new moon energies. I myself have been zapped after feeling very high vibrational and full of energy about 5 days ago. I'm completely exhausted, but I'm being pushed to do these readings by spirit, so here I am. If you're new to the channel, have a look around. And if you guys are seeking a reading, I'm currently offering these 4 readings. Regular twin flame readings, a channeled letter from your divine feminine or divine masculine counterpart coming from their highest self and their heart and their soul. I'm also offering a North Node reading, which is, I call it was written in the stars reading. It's very detailed and comprehensive, and also just, I love it. And I use the tools of astrology, your astrological chart, to find your north and south node. I also use intuitive energies that I'm picking up on for you. Lots of things can come into that reading, including I'm a medium, so sometimes beloved ones who have passed will come through the reading, as well as pets, etc. Sometimes we tap into your spirit animals, but we look into the karmic energies and karmic cycles that you have brought in from past lifetimes. We look into those influences, as well as your gifts from past lifetimes, and the road to your highest self and your highest timeline, which is, of course, your destined path. So those are the readings that I'm offering at this time. Let's get into the cards. New beginnings. 1. We have a 1 card, which is a beginning card, and cycle. So cycles of new beginnings coming in with a new moon. Beautifully, beautifully delivered. Thank you, Spirit. So new beginnings coming in for these connections. And I think what's important to remember is not to get ahead of oneself. So when we feel the energies of something new happening or coming into our life, like we can feel the excitement and we start planning, this is how it's going to go. This is what they're going to say. This is what it's going to look like. And we just want to remember to chill out a little bit. And we want to remember to magnetize these things to us through the powers of manifestation, which we all have as humans, particularly as divine feminines and light workers and star seeds. So just ensure that you are doing your best to stay calm, stay collected, and really stay in your present power. I'm really getting that message from Spirit that staying in your present power is really where it's at, divine feminine or divine masculine watching. And understand that this is going to look nothing like the past. So it's really important now, if we want to usher in these new cycles, we let go of the past versions of ourself, past versions of our counterpart, past versions of our life, past belief systems, things, failures and blame, and releasing anything that's not serving what you want to manifest. So if it's going against the manifestation, let it go. Find a way to practice forgiveness, the Ho'oponopono prayer. Find a way to release it in some way. Fire some sort of I like to, light a fire and burn the piece of paper and just write away what I want to release. Or for some, it's, you have some sort of a celebration near the water, or it can just be whatever it is for you, a salt rinse, a salt bath, a dip in the ocean, but anything to clear and cleanse your energy. Palo Santo, sage, a smudging ceremony. Spirit, what's coming in for the twins, please? 5D energies, what's coming in? Personal assistance. Okay, so this is telling me that there's going to be somebody that comes onto your journey. That is going to be, I actually have somebody that's come into my life. He is much older and very wise, and he's showing up as a spiritual teacher. He's actually showing up kind of wanting to be a romantic partner, but I'm not interested. So I'm very focused on my journey and on my growth, and I'm focused on uniting with my masculine. So it's not going to go in that direction, sadly for him. But he's showing up as a teacher and someone who's teaching me things about my worth about my abilities and just reminding me of my beauty, and not just external beauty, but internal beauty. So I feel like these people are going to show up on your journey to remind you of who you truly are. And they are guides, they're angels in disguise. So enjoy those experiences while you're having them. This may not be something long lasting, but just enjoy it while it's happening. It absolutely doesn't have to be romantic. Okay, what other 5D energies are coming in, Spirit? Quantum energies for twin flames at this time. Cycles or patterns. The loving woman. So divine feminine, you are definitely stepping back into your divine feminine essence and powers. And as you do so, you notice that you magnetize things to you, and that things come to you naturally, lovingly, easily, so much more than if you were fighting things, if you were kind of grappling for things or trying to cling to something. You release and let go, and you realize that you have everything you need and want right in front of you. This is a very a peaceful woman, a woman who's at peace with herself and life. She's light and free. She's surrounded by beauty. She knows that she is beauty and she inhabits beauty. So beauty is attracted to her externally. Remember, whatever you think about yourself, right? Your thoughts about yourself, your subconscious patterns will be reflected to you in the external world. What's going on with the divine masculine? What's going on with the divine masculine? Fear. Divine masculine's dealing with fear. I feel like that relates to the tower moments that came up in the reading I did earlier today. So there's some fear that's being released from the divine masculine's physical reality. Okay, these are manifestations. I feel like they're going to that worst case scenario place. And I feel like these are fears that have to be purged before they can step into that Emperor role and King of Wands energy that once again came up in the reading from earlier today. So it's a process that needs to happen as they go through this and release what isn't serving them. So not to fear, divine masculine, no pun intended or pun intended, but everything's going to be okay. They're also focused on family. So there could be a fear around family. I've said this before for some of these divine masculines. There's a fear of being perceived as a bad parent, being perceived as negligent, or being perceived as sort of selfish because of programming, ancient programming, needing to heal from that inner critic that is always the parent, almost always the parent energy, right? The father or mother energy that says, well, if you don't do this, then you're a bad person. So divine masculine's healing from that. But there is a fear surrounding losing their family. So those that are going through challenging breakups or divorces are really facing their deepest and darkest fears at this time. But what I love about this is they are experiencing new transformative and supportive connections. And I say transformative because the other card that came out was transformation. Okay, so they're moving through a cycle of transformation, and because of that, they're getting in touch with, or they're meeting, or they're running into people, either people from their past that have transformed themselves that are going to help them on their way, other divine masculines, or this could just be helpful people that come in and assist them in breaking free and really breaking free from these karmic cycles and assist them in moving forward with their life. So I'm loving these cards. So again, the fear card is really nothing to worry about. It's in their mind. And honestly, the things we fear the most usually never come to fruition. They never actually happen. But we just, as humans, we love to fear. We love to stay in that energy of fear because I think it's easier than staying in the energy of hope and faith. Because at least with fear, we can manifest our fears. It feels more challenging sometimes to manifest that which you actually desire. So you just kind of go back to that energy of, it's never going to work. I affirmed for 5 days in a row or 14 days in a row and nothing happened. Why should I keep on affirming? Because time isn't linear, and your desires will manifest at a perfect time for you when everything is beautifully aligned. So we have this concept of divine timing coming up here from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So I see this as divine masculines worried that their time is running out, and they know that they're going through this really incredible, powerful transformation, and they feel as though while that's happening, will my counterpart wait for me? That's why I feel like some of you are going to be receiving some kind of in and out energy. I don't think it's going to be where they pour their heart out and apologize. I don't think they're ready for that yet. Maybe towards the end of the year. But what I feel coming in is sort of like this, hey, how's it going? And then they disappear again. It's not what we want to hear, but if we can just be amused by it rather than pissed off by it, I think it can take us a long way, divine feminines. Because I feel like divine masculine's very aware that you could move on. They're extremely aware that you have other suitors, that you have people that are paying attention to you. You have people that are attracted to your incredible energy. They're very aware of this, and they don't want to lose you, and yet they're not yet ready to make that full commitment, so they don't want to come in empty-handed. They want to come in when they can actually commit to this connection and commit to taking the next step. So there's a little bit of hesitancy here with this TikTok card, because I feel like they're like, oh, I know the clock is ticking, I know I need to make a move, but I'm just not yet ready. By the book. Yeah, this is a very divine masculine card. This is about doing things by the book, the way parents have done it, ancestors have done it, society has done it. So there's this, divine masculines want to be thorough. So when they're completing a cycle in their lives, they want to make sure that they don't leave a mess. They don't want to hurt anybody. They don't want to leave a mess behind. They want to make sure they do things the clean way and the right way. And that's very frustrating to divine feminine, who's much more of a free spirit typically, and just wants things to get done. She's like, I just want to start this already. It doesn't have to be perfect. So divine masculine, if you're watching, understand it doesn't have to be perfect. The divine feminine is not expecting nor even wanting perfection. There's still a little bit of chaos and conflict. This would be my Tower card in this deck. So we have the Tower card coming out in both readings today. Tower card, divine masculine energy in particular, less impacting divine feminine energy at this time. But yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of chaos and conflict as they, do what's by the book. I feel like a lot of them are going to find out that doing things by the book isn't working anymore. And that's what got them where they are in the first place, of an unfulfilled kind of life that's lacking. It's lacking vitality, it's lacking luster, it's lacking passion, it's lacking mutual respect and understanding. And divine masculines have really settled for a long time with a life that doesn't fit them, a life that doesn't truly pull at their soul. It's just easy. It's been the easy way out for a lot of them. And it's also been a repetition of cycles for what their ancestors, generations past have programmed into them. So they really need to work on breaking those ancestral cycles. So I'll be curious to see what comes up in the Shaman Oracle to see if that's reflected. Now, when they get to the other side of this is what's coming up for the union energy. Happy, happy celebration. Very much Four of Wands energy. Okay, Nine of Cups energy, wish fulfillment, getting everything you wanted, feeling lighthearted, knowing that you're in good company, and just being freaking happy with life. Message in a bottle. So what I feel like is, with all this going on, the concern about the fear, the family, leaving the family behind, and being a bad parent, and, being a bad person, and the fear of time ticking away and time slipping away for them, and then wanting to do things by the book, but then experiencing more chaos and conflict the more they try to do things by the book, because it's not who they truly are anymore. When they get to the other side of that, what's waiting for both of you, union energy, is happiness. And I feel like there's a message coming. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be very significant for many of you at this time. It could be. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, as always. But I do feel like for a lot of you, there's a message that's going to indicate, it's going to be sort of like a hint that there's a happy culmination of things. That's something like, maybe it's a hint of meeting up, or a hint of having a longer conversation, or maybe they're going to hint that they've finally made the change that they needed to make in order for you guys to be together, in order to clear the slate, clear the karma, and remove obstacles. Something is going to shift and something is going to happen. And I feel like they're going to come forward and tell you this, but you might not receive it. You know, message in a bottle tells me it might take a little bit of time to get to you, and it may not be exactly what you're hoping and wishing for, Divine Feminine. So please just use your discernment, and instead of getting angry at your Divine Masculine, just be thankful for what you receive. Gratitude begets more experiences that bring us what we want. Divine Masculines are dealing with inner childhood wounds regarding abandonment. Okay, this feeling of being orphaned. Many of them do feel like they've lost you or that you've walked away from them forever. It doesn't matter what you say in the 3D. This is their wounds coming up, and this is what the old stories and patterns are telling them. It's not true, but it's what they're being told, and because of this, it's what's playing out in their mind at this time. They sort of just feel like again, this is like the TikTok card. It's sort of like the feeling like, are they gone for good? Because they can't see you anymore. They can't feel you necessarily. Maybe from time to time, but you're really off doing your own thing. And there's not a lot of time in the day for the feminine right now to stop and check in with her masculine. She's way more concerned on releasing him or her and letting them do what they need to do to heal, while she does what she needs to do to propel her life forward, so that when he does come forward, they can have that life together. You know, she's building the nest, if you will, in the 5D, and he's trying to build it and clear in the 3D. So the energies of sort of, there's been this energy, this feeling of loneliness that is kind of washing over the Divine Masculine. Definitely a feeling of loneliness, and gosh, Divine Masculine, it's really dramatic. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of drama going on right now in your mind. The drama, and none of it's true. Your Divine Feminine still wants to be with you. Your Divine Feminine wants to talk to you. Divine Feminine wants to hear from you. And it's not at all what you think. She hasn't forgotten you. Okay. On getting a bunch of cards, so I'm going to try one more time. Spirit, can you show me clearly? Clean it up. Yeah, Divine Masculine, clean up your act, clean up your thoughts. You're envisioning the worst and you're expecting the worst, and the universe is saying stop. Like, we're not getting behind this, okay? We're not going to let you feel sorry for yourself. Clean up your act, clean up your thoughts, clean up your beliefs, and really tap into your heart, because what you're fearing most is never going to happen. Your Divine Feminine's never going to, even the Divine Feminines are like, I'm done for good. Either that wasn't your true counterpart, okay, and it was just a soulmate of some sort, or B, you're lying to yourself, and the moment that your Divine Masculine comes back in, you're going to drop everything and want to be with them. So I feel like, you know, there's a lot of ego that I see sometimes in the comments, which is fine. I have been that person myself. I have said those comments myself during times where I was really purging and I was really, really angry. But the truth of the matter is that if your divine counterpart came in tomorrow, wanted to have that conversation, that you would probably drop everything. Maybe not everything, but you would definitely give them the time of day and you would definitely hear them out. Okay. So let's cross over to the mystical shaman oracle and let's find out. I'm just going to give them already shuffled the cards, but I'm going to give them a real good shuffle again. What medicine is for the divine feminine right now? Ooh, there's a Kundalini energy. It wants to come in the serpent. So there's a Kundalini rising for the divine feminine as she ascends on her journey and her path. Divine feminine, you're being congratulated for the work that's been put in, the work that you're doing, and the energetic vibrational shift that you're creating across the board. It's a domino effect. So everyone you come into contact with feels this shift and gets to experience your magic. Okay, those cards just want to fall. So we're actually going to set those aside. We're going to focus on these for a moment. So divine feminine is experiencing, if you're not experiencing your first awakening, you're experiencing several awakenings. You're experiencing, the Kundalini energy it's a serpent-like energy that rises from the base of the spine, the root chakra, and rises up through every chakra, through the crown chakra, and it shakes you awake. And sometimes it feels violent or scary. Some people have reported some pretty scary side effects from this awakening, right? It can kind of wake you in your sleep. You can experience it during a yoga session or a meditation session, or just when you're going about your day and least expecting it. But this energy is transformative, and this energy is shaking your cells awake. It's shaking your psyche awake. It's shaking off things that do not serve you so that you can become as powerful as you truly are, so that you can really, really embody that energy. We have the energy of magic. So this to me equates to the High Priestess card in the traditional Major Arcana deck, Major Arcana cards, sorry. And there's this energy of intuition and just realizing, divine feminine, that you are pure magic. I think a lot of times it's easy for the divine feminine to forget how incredible they are. Okay, so understand that we are magic. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And perhaps you've forgotten, the magic that exists in the world around you. Perhaps you've forgotten your own magic that exists within you. So understand that you are related to Source, that you are a part of Source, that you are a part of the oneness. And you're on this earth in this human body experiencing this temporary human experience. Let it be magical. Draw upon the magical elements of life rather than allowing yourself to get caught in the fear or in the lack energy, right? Or in the energy of the past. Just remember that magic is real and it exists in everything. It's everywhere and it's in everything, including you. We have the vision quest. So we have this energy of... A vision quest can be done actually internally. It doesn't have to be an external experience, although it can be. But the vision quest talks about going to a deeper place within to experience something that you've never experienced, to see things, right? To open up your third eye, to face your deepest fears. And, this can be done through ayahuasca. If you've done an ayahuasca journey, this can be done in many different ways, through hypnotherapy, through regression, past life regression, breath work. There's a lot of ways in which you can experience the vision quest. But when spirit can't get in touch with you, okay, when you're sort of too busy in the 3D life, or there's too much monkey mind energy going on, as the Buddhists call it, there's too much kind of chaos going on in your mind, you will start to feel the call to go within, to go deeper within, okay? So until you can find the key that's going to open up the next chapter and the next door of your life, spirit will keep on knocking at that door. It will keep on knock, knock, knock. So feminines, heed the call for the vision quest in your life. Give me 1 second, guys. There's a... There's a storm rolling in, and the kitties do not like to be on the porch. It's pretty scary. So they were just staring at me. I felt really bad. Okay, so getting back to the cards, let us look at energies for divine masculine. What time are we at? Divine masculines are being asked not only to ground their energies, okay, and to develop a relationship with Mother Gaia at this time, to kind of get their head out of the clouds if they've been dismissing certain things, dismissing things that need to be done. like saying, I'll do it tomorrow, procrastination. They're being asked to really earth and ground and see that they are a part of the earth, that she is a part of them. What's interesting is we have Mother Gaia and we have Wild Woman for the masculines. So I paused for a moment because I was pondering these cards and I thought maybe these are the wrong cards, but no, they're very much for the masculine. The masculine is very much tapping into his or her feminine energy at this time and realizing that there's a wild woman, there's a warrior woman inside of them that wants to be unleashed. For so long, the masculines have pushed down their authenticity of who they truly are as a soul, as a human, as a child, right? The inner child that wants to come out and play. They've pushed down their playfulness and they've forgotten that they are a part of the earth. They've forgotten that they are here with a mission, that they are here to accomplish, but they're also here to feel and experience. It's not just about accomplishing. It's not just about go, go, go and making the money and having nice things. And then at the end of the day, you're lonely, even though you're surrounded by all these things and all these people. It's about stopping. It's about dancing with life. It's about coming into contact with and in touch with their inner wild. It's like rewilding. They're being rewilded to really understand that the way that they've been living their life isn't working. And the only way forward, right? The only way to true happiness for the masculines is to truly see themselves for what and who they are. There's sort of been this reluctance on the part of the divine masculine. There's been a reluctance for them to stop working so hard. There's been a reluctance on their part to play. There's been a reluctance on their part to just be. I remember saying to my masculine, just be, just stop, just pause, just take some time to do nothing. And it was so foreign to him, but it was so welcoming. He loved that about me because I could always make him stop. And he said nobody else could do that. But I had this way of making him just stop and just stop spinning around in circles, divine masculine. Stop fighting it. So this is about the essence of authenticity and freedom. Okay, this is about going against, not non-conforming. This is a non-conformist energy. I won't do what you tell me, right? Like that Rage Against the Machine song. Blank you, I won't do what you tell me. This is that energy. Divine masculine no longer wants to be held to someone else's standards and wants to shine their light brightly, regardless of what that's going to cause. The ruckus, right? And the chaos and conflict. They know that's going to cause chaos and conflict, but they're willing to risk it because this is their true essence. Look, if you're a wild woman and you're their divine feminine, then without a doubt, 100% absolutely, they are also wild, and that needs to be expressed in them. So if they're trapped in any sort of like excessiveness or OCD type thinking, or just, again, workaholism, things like that, any sort of addiction or codependencies, they're going to be called into the energy of letting go and releasing and sort of just letting the river flow. This is the energy, like very Piscean energy of just let it go, let it flow. They're going to simplify, be more mindful, and believe it or not, guys, I've said this before, many of them are connecting through meditation. You don't have to believe it. That's fine. It doesn't have to, like, yeah, okay, sure, my masculine would never meditate. That's fine. But remember, what you believe is what you receive. They are going within. Okay, I would like some cards, 1 or 2 cards, Spirit, for union. The Time Master. We have the infinity symbol, the symbol of the twin flames, the symbol of infinity, infinite love, infinite connection. So interesting that we have TikTok with the Time Master. Time is not our enemy, although we as humans feel like it is, because we see physical changes in our physical appearance and our outward appearance, and because it's scary, right? to look in the book actually. I remember this gives a really good description of this card. Time is a construct of the human mind through which life events are seen to flow in a straight line from past to future. This, however, is an illusion. Time moves in patterns, fractals, sometimes turning like a wheel, and others moving straight like an arrow. Humans see time like a ticking clock, and this image reminds us that there is only so much of it to spend in life, like a currency. So I feel like this is the energy of saying, it's not that time is running out on these connections, it's that the divine masculine is starting to realize that time is precious, and that every time they waste or spend living an inauthentic life and not choosing to be with the one person they know they are supposed to be with, that they are meant to be with, that they were born to be with, is sort of wasted time. And it's like, what are they doing? They're asking themselves, what am I doing? Why am I sitting here spinning circles, spinning around and around and getting the same results? And they keep on thinking that something is going to change in their 3D reality, but then it doesn't. And every time it doesn't, they're frustrated. And they're going to get so frustrated that Father Time is going to just step in and say, listen, you've learned your lessons. Now it's time to move on. And there's going to be reminders. With the TikTok card and this card coming up in the same reading, the divine masculine is going to be reminded that time is of the essence, and that the more time they spend away from the divine feminine, the less time they get to experience this unconditional love, this joy, this bliss, this passion. And why would they want to do that to themselves? They're starting to ask themselves these questions. And then for divine feminines, I feel like this message is speaking of remaining relaxed and not so focused on time. It's the irony, right? The divine masculine needs to focus on time so they can release themselves from karmic cycles and constructs. But divine feminine, you're being asked to realize that the more you worry, that the more negativity, and the more you focus on what you don't want, the more you get of what you don't want. So it's like you expand time, right? You sort of, instead of drawing your masculine to you, the more you focus on time, you're actually pushing time away, if that makes sense. So it's like it makes it harder and harder for them to come forward to you. So divine feminine, relax, chill out in regards to the timing of things. Realize that you have all the time in the world and you can never run out of it, and realize that things are happening in the way that they should. And also realize that your masculine understands that time is of the essence. They are understanding that there are things that need to be accomplished in this life, and this is in regards to you and him. So I think I'm going to end there, guys, for this reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sending you all love, light, abundance, and joy. Have a beautiful night, and I'll see you soon.